Welcome back to Tech Updates. Today we're doing a vulnerability roundup with some of the most critical security flaws and trends reported in the last week. These are real issues affecting industrial gear, network, infrastructure, and the systems many organizations still depend on. Let's break down what's been discovered, why it's important, and what defenders should be thinking about. A critical authentication bypass vulnerability was discovered in multiple Honeywell CCTV camera models, rated 9.8 severity, allowing attackers to remotely access video feeds and even modify account recovery settings. Industrial operators and critical infrastructure customers are particularly at risk. This is a textbook example of how infrastructure-adjacent IoT and OT devices, not just servers and apps, can pose severe risk when security isn't baked into firmware. With a near maximum CVEs score, defenders should urgently segment, patch, and isolate systems like this. A compromised camera system can open doors to broader network access if lateral movement isn't stopped. A new threat report highlights a significant shift. Firewalls are now being targeted heavily by ransomware actors. In one dataset, 90% of ransomware incidents originated from compromised firewalls, including the exploitation of old vulnerabilities that remained unpatched. This isn't a single CVE, but a trend with real impact. Firewalls were once viewed as a hardened perimeter, now they're a high-value initial access vector. Organizations need rigorous patch management, multi-factor authentication on management interfaces, and tight network segmentation to prevent ransomware from using firewall compromises as beachheads. Analysis of CVE entries published over the past week reveals numerous high-severity remote code execution and authentication bypass bugs, affecting widely used software, including web apps and infrastructure components tracked by NIST and vulnerability databases. While this story isn't tied to a specific exploit in the wild yet, the publication of multiple CVEs with CVEs scores up to 9.8 shows that adversaries have fertile ground for attack. Organizations shouldn't wait for proof of exploit. Alerts, high CVEs scores, especially on network-facing services, warrant immediate attention and prioritization in patch cycles. This week's vulnerability news highlights two key themes. Devices at the edge and network infrastructure are high-risk points, and old vulnerabilities left unpatched continue to be weaponized. Whether it's CCTV systems or the firewalls meant to protect networks, attackers are hunting the weakest links. If you manage or secure critical systems, now's the time to enforce rigorous asset inventory, faster patch prioritization, network segmentation, multi-factor access on all management interfaces. Next week, we'll break into how exploit kits are automating attacks against recent CVEs and what defensive teams can do to stay ahead. Until then, patch early and monitor constantly. If you found this information useful, share with a friend or colleague. Thank you for your support.